Hey everybody, so glad you came out on a Sunday night. Well, I say Sunday night, but Paul Counts, what is it where you are?
It is 6 a.m. on the nose in Cambodia.
Oh my goodness. You
Yep,
are out of
6 a.m.
town.
A little bit out of town, that's for sure.
Paul Counts is joining us from the future.
That's right.
It's Monday morning, 6 a.m. Type yes in the chat box if you're able to hear us loud and clear. Chat in the chat box, just type in a big old yes.
All right.
Ah, there we
Yep.
go. Good. There was a little delay. I was worried.
Yeah.
SJ's back for round two.
Love it. Lots of yeses out there. Good,
All
good.
right, good. We are so glad. You guys, you know how we are if you've been here before or if you've been on a webinar with us before. We just hit the ground and we take off. There'll be people joining us over the next 10 minutes, the late people, but we're going to go ahead and rock and roll. I do need one more yes, though, before we get started. Type yes if you see impact income on the screen, that this is actually being projected live and I'm not still on the holding screen. Good. Awesome, guys. One more announcement before we get started. If you did not get the handout, you should see it there in your control panel. Just look down below. It should say handouts. There's one that's available. It's the Impact Income webinar handout. You're more than welcome to grab that or grab a sheet of paper for two reasons. One, for taking notes, and secondly, for doing the exercises that we're going to lead you through. Well, Paul Counts, are you ready to rock and roll, brother?
I am ready to rock and roll. Let's do this.
All right, let's do it. Hey guys, thank you for showing up tonight for Impact. Well, tonight here in the morning where Paul Counts is for Impact Income. Make more, give more, and live more. The focus of our businesses have so radically shifted over the last few years because we found out that it's so much easier to do business. It is so much more reliable to do business. Number one, when you're clear on your make more, give more, and live more, and when you're clear on who you are. These opening pictures, I'm Paul Evans. That's there on the left of this left picture. And in the lighter blue is Paul Counts, who is joining us from Cambodia even as we record right now. Paul, we were in ClickBank, what, just a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, about 3 weeks ago, we were at ClickBank headquarters in Boise and had a great time. That was us at ClickBank Platinum event as well, an invite-only event.
Yeah, we went to check that out because we are diving deeper into what causes the issues of why people are not making online the way that they should. And so we went to ClickBank, we talked to a lot of their lead executives to really be able to answer that question. And here's the bottom line, is that we want to help you break the cycle of frustration. We want to help you conquer the copycat syndrome. This is one of the big, big issues. And we want to help you to finally create a profitable business that you love in 28 days and maybe even less, depending on where you are. And in this webinar, you're going to learn one simple tweak that boosted sales 4,174%. The top three reasons 98% of would-be online entrepreneurs fail and how you can reverse that. And then the 3R system for getting hyper-focused so you never chase the wrong dream again. And Paul, we see that all the time, don't we? People chasing the wrong dream out there.
We do all the time. People are just chasing the wrong thing. They're chasing maybe the get-rich-quick stuff. They're chasing the turnkey solutions, the bright, shiny objects. They're chasing the wrong thing all the time, and it just holds them back.
Yeah, and you mentioned a couple of things that we're going to hit right now because the truth is nobody likes being played. I don't like being played. Paul doesn't. You don't. And through the years, when it comes to our industry, the online business industry, there's been a lot of folks being played and a lot of players out there that have really taken advantage of so many people. And I know that I've been taken advantage of before as well when I left my business background, my business focus, and tried to follow a lot of these, quote, systems that really didn't work the way that they were advertised. So there's three main problems. Number one is the whole idea of the copycat, that if you will go out there and just buy a system and follow somebody else's program, that it's automatically going to work for you. But there's so many reasons why that doesn't work. Paul, what do you think are some of the top reasons why just simply copying somebody else's program doesn't get it?
Yeah, because every single person's unique. So if you're just straight copying somebody's program, you're copying a system that worked for them. You're not copying a system that's necessarily going to work for you. So you can use their system as a model to guide you, but if you're going to copy it exactly, it's not going to have the same results that they received because they're unique. They're unique. And so you need to make sure that you're putting your own unique spin on every kind of training you go through, everything you learn, every model you try to follow.
I love that, bro. And that's one of our promises to you right now is that we're going to help you determine the best you so that you won't have to copy everything that's out there, but instead you'll be able to customize the things that are out there and even brand new programs that we're going to show you so that it will be in total alignment with who you are and you won't be trapped with copycatting anymore. Secondly is bright, shiny object syndrome, BSOS. And I think we've all kind of fallen into this before because we look out there somewhere and there's this idea or this concept or this model that just seems so doable and so right, and there's so many positives behind it that it just seems like, you know what, this is it. Now, if you've ever fallen for the bright shiny object before, and this isn't a guilt thing, I'm admitting openly that I've done it before, just type in yes. Say, yeah, you know what, I've chased the bright shiny object before. Just type in a big old yes in there right now. Paul, you've probably had this happen as well.
Yes, I have. I have chased that, and I have caught myself. And you know, it's if you go down that path, it can cause a lot of problems. I'm seeing some yeses popping in here, so you guys are not alone. We've both failed for this as well.
Yes, one said many, many times. Well, our promise is to give you a process that if you choose to adopt it, it's going to end that for you because you're going to be so familiar with who you are. You'll be able to look out there at new things hitting the market, and you'll go, you know what, that's not for me because here's who I am, and here's my business process, and that's not even attractive because it's not what I do. And then third, and we've seen this problem over and over again, and that's the trust me. And it's the person out there that's actually broke and yet trying to talk you into buying their stuff about becoming an online business owner or entrepreneur, or, you know, even more, that the only realm that they've ever taught in or been part of is online business or how to make money niches. And we're not saying that's a bad niche. That's one of our niches, but we've been all over the place with our businesses in a very positive way so that it can make the biggest impact for you. And so our promise is that we're bringing the best to the table of what actually works. My name is Paul Evans, and I'm a veteran of more than 30 years of businesses online and offline. I've owned 8 physical offline businesses. I opened my first at age 20. It was a fitness center. At that time, I was a bodybuilder. And every time I say bodybuilder, I laugh because I'm not in that shape anymore. A bodybuilder and a power lifter at that time. And I owned a gym. I've helped over 75,000 people start their dream business. My book is called Success is Not an Accident. I've got a youth ministry site, Nicheology, which is online business site, Million Dollar Keynote, which teaches a framework to those who are speakers to be able to take their intellectual property and frame that accordingly. I'm a speaker myself, and I'm also a contributing writer to entrepreneur.com.
So I am Paul Counts, and you can see a little bit about me. I've been in business for 16 years now. I started out at the age of 15. I'm actually going to Vietnam to put on a workshop, and so just stopping here in Cambodia because we know some folks here as well. Had a radio show that aired throughout 3 different states in Oklahoma, Texas, and Kansas. I was a website sales consultant, so I would sell website businesses for people. Sold that one of those businesses right there for $780,000 for a client in 23 days at the age of 23, actually. And there is a picture of the movie that I produced. So I produced a feature film, which obviously takes a whole new set of skills. And I've done a lot with ClickBank, been in their booths, been represented, invited to their platinum events. And then also the most popular product that I have out is called the No Cost Income Stream. That's helped a lot of people, thousands of people, learn how to get started with 5 different business models they can start for free.
Man, I love it. Super strong. You know, that's our promise to you guys is that we're coming from real business, actual business, not we made a couple of dollars online, but that our lives have been involved completely in being entrepreneurs. So as we get started, how would you label the health of your business? Let me do some magic here and open up a poll I'm not the best at these. So I'm gonna launch this poll. How would you describe the health of your business? Would you say it's sick? It's just not doing good at all? Is it struggling? You've done a couple of things in it, but it's just kind of struggling. Is it stable? Do you feel like your business is really kind of solid right now? Or do you feel like it's significant? You wouldn't change a thing and you are rocking and rolling. Keep voting, guys. I'm going to count down from 8, and then I'm going to close the poll. 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Closing the poll and sharing the results. So of everybody that's here right now, we've got 29% say, you know what, my business is sick. It's just not doing good at all. And 71% say that it's struggling. These numbers, guys, super normal. And this isn't to make you feel bad at all. As it says, to say, number one, we see it all the time. And number two, you are not alone. Look at these numbers. And I'm guessing that the average person on here has been trying to do business online for 6 months or a year, and most of the time it's way more than a year. And so there's this pattern that we're seeing over and over and over and over again, that people are not having that success that they really dreamed of. And so that's going to be one of the first steps that we take tonight, is to really get focused on what it means to be successful, what that's going to take, and where we need to go from there. So you need to make sure you have your worksheet out, and we are about to get to work. Paul, talk to us about this little screen right here.
Yeah, this is one of my favorite pictures online. In the top corner, you've got the guy that is going really hard. He's very focused. You can see it on his face for his dreams. He's going for those diamonds, right? That's where the wealth is. The person in the bottom corner, he is at that spot where he feels like he's been struggling, or that his business is sick, and, you know, like where many of you are right now, and he just gave up. He gave up so too soon, and there's so many of you that are right on the cusp of success, but you give up, and that happens so often. I see it happen more than I'd like to see. You know, but just maybe one more swipe, or one more thing, or one more attempt, and you can make it. And it's a grind. It's definitely a grind, but for those that are willing to stick it out, the rewards are amazing, kind of like the person in the front's about to find out, or in the top.
Absolutely. So step one is the 3R system for hyper focus. This is going to get you extreme clarity on what you're wanting to achieve. We talk to entrepreneurs all the time who definitely want to do better, and they want to make money, and they want to get free, and they've got all of these things in their head, but they don't have it really down on paper. And we want you to get it down on paper tonight. And the reason is, you must know exactly what you want, or you'll never get it. That sounds cliche. It sounds like a platitude, but it's not. You must know exactly what you want, or you will never get it. So we're going to begin with make more. You know, usually when it comes to business, this is the goal, right? We want to make more. We want to have some numbers that are going to validate our work and our effort, our income, our revenue, and ultimately what we're going to be able to do with that. So this first set of numbers are Paul Counts numbers.
Yeah, so this is just some stats from JVZoo here. So what you've got here is, you know, in just representation of the income that's been made this year. So you're looking at about $700,000 to $800,000 worth of sales just on JVZoo itself. That doesn't count ClickBank and other platforms. We want this for you. We want you guys to have those days where you have $11,000 in revenue, $14,000 in revenue. And inside Impact Income, we're going to teach you exactly how to have revenue days like this. And now Paul's going to talk about one of his unique but very powerful revenue streams.
Yeah, I'm not going to hit you with like everything that I'm involved in necessarily, but this is one that I've seen every single time helps people have some hope, because this is a little bit unusual. This is one of my very first online businesses. It's Teen Life Ministries, the Youth Ministry Zone. We've got 2,771 members that pay $10 a month. Now you can do the multiplication on that. It's not difficult. Just add a 0 to 2,771, and that's our monthly in a niche that should not, according to all the gurus, according to all of the niche magicians, no one would go into this niche. It doesn't fit the formula, or does it, because we're going to show you a formula tonight that it fits very, very well. But here it is. Here's a niche that most people would have totally ignored, but has worked extremely well for us.
Yeah, so this is a great example here of Gina Paris. So what Gina did, she's in the niche within a niche, right? So she is in the baseball and softball niche, and she is also in the mental game aspect of it. So it's a niche within the baseball and softball space. And so she's carved out a spot. She looked at herself. She looked at her life experiences. She looked at her training, her upbringing. She looked at her son, who was actually a professional baseball player, saw the struggles he was going through, and she created a product around that. One thing I love about Gina is that she went through one of my training programs, and she put a very unique twist on recruiting joint venture partners. So I was teaching her one way, but she put her own unique spin on that, meaning instead of just copying exactly what I taught, she took the principles of what I taught and she made it unique. And what resulted was that she made more in one day with this one info product than she did the entire year of a previous info product in a niche that she wasn't as passionate about.
Yeah, you make such a great point there, Paul, because it's so easy to just get involved in something and feel like, okay, I've been told that this niche is the right niche, but in order to make more, there's a combination of 4 elements that we're going to see that make it so critical for that to happen. Now it's your turn, guys. You need to write down your make more number. Some of you want to make 10,000, some 25,000, some want to make 100,000 a year, or you may want to put in your monthly. Here's what we want you to do. Number 1, write down on your sheet your make more number. And then number 2, type it into the Q&A section and let us know what your number is.
Yeah, this is so important because once you know what your number is, once you know what your goal is that you want to go for, then
Right.
you can really push it. And we see
Man.
15,000 to 20K a month, 100,000 a year.
20K a month, 300,000 a year. Keep them rolling in here, guys. 50K a month, 25,000, 50,000, 75,000, 100,000 per year, 250,000 per year. 10K month minimum. 3K a month to start.
Love
Keep
it.
them rolling, guys. Good, man. I love this.
Everybody's unique. That's the most important thing. So your make more is going to be different from somebody else. Some people we've seen only want to make $500 a month, and that's great because that will actually transform their life where they are at. It doesn't mean that they don't have big goals. It just means that 500 a month would change their life. So your goal might be 500 a month. It might be 50,000 a month. Everybody's going to be different.
Absolutely. We've got some more coming in. 3K a month, 10.5K a month. 250,000 a year, 150,000 a year. So many great answers here, guys. This is where it begins because your path, your business process is determined by that number. Because you have to build the business around what you're going to be doing and where you want to reach, instead of simply going, hey, I'm going to go out here and just set up a business and we're going to see what happens. You design it very specifically for that outcome. So after make more is give more. One of the cool things about making more money is you get to do more with it and do some really cool things with it as well. So top left is me in India, bottom left is Malawi, Africa, and then those 3 cascading pictures when my boys are in Mexico, and in those 3 regions, and actually 9 regions around the world, I've been blessed enough to be on the ground and actually help physically with the building of orphanages. So that's my personal give more. This picture in the middle is with Carrie Wilkerson. She won Marketer of the Year, got up on stage, won 10 grand, and immediately gave it to me to use in 100X missions for the building and the support of orphanages. So we all have different give mores. This happens to be mine, and here's Paul Counts.
Yeah, so we took our family up to Cambodia recently. We did a workshop. I'm actually in Cambodia right now, actually revisiting with the missionary and person we were working with, and also working again with his college students, just kind of, really reinvesting into their lives. In the bottom right corner, we were able to work with the kids and the youth there, do a little free business training, and then also, this picture right here in the very middle where somebody's talking about how we impacted them. That's the kind of stories that we love seeing because we're able to change people's life. We were able to help this family that didn't have a house. We were able to help just spread a love to them by helping them financially, but they were able to now get a job. They're better than they were. They now have income coming in. They now have a house. So totally life-changing stuff because we had money to give more. And that's so powerful because if you can give more, your life's going to be much more fulfilled.
Yeah, no doubt about it. We've got another case study that Paul's going to talk about real quick. I've got to make a couple of changes, so I'm going to stop showing the screen while he talks about Jeff, and then I'll make it live again in just a second.
Yeah, so this is my friend Jeff Hunt. So Jeff Hunt is somebody that actually started online. So he started a business, and he was trying the affiliate marketing model. He was trying the different models like multi-level marketing, a lot of the stuff many of us have tried, and none of them really fit him until he actually got it to the point where he could actually start a business that was related to website flipping. It was something that fit him. He was able to make his own very unique business model out of it. And so he tried a variety of different things. He struggled. But during that time, though, because he found what he was good at with website investing, he can now live a comfortable lifestyle. He's able to go to third world countries and help people. He's also able to serve in his youth with youth group in his church as well. And in the last 12 months, he's been back 3 times. And that's his Give More case study, but it all stemmed from the fact that he decided to make a focus and say, you know what, I'm not going to be good at affiliate marketing because everybody says that. I'm not going to necessarily be good at multi-level marketing, but I'm going to be great at website investing and teaching people how to invest in websites using my own unique process. And so he took his own spin on things, and it resulted in amazing things for him so he can give more.
Man, super cool. And I love how specific he is with what he's doing, that he's able to serve in third world countries 3 times in the last 12 months. Well, guys, what's your Give More? Where do you want to make the biggest difference? Where do you want to make the biggest impact? Write it down on your sheet, and then also type it into the Q&A because we want to be able to see those. I love this. This is from Bill. Get my family out of Ukraine, and enlighten others with what has happened there. Bill, I've got some friends that actually are from Ukraine, and it's really heartbreaking. It's devastating. Most of the people do not know the stories, and I love what you're saying here. I'm going to read it again. Get my family out of Ukraine and enlighten others with what has happened there. Guys, type in your Give More so that we can share those with others that are here tonight as well, because when we do this, it allows us to be able to see a bigger picture of the impact that really happens when we start to make more.
Love this. My friend and I would like to have a transitional home for women with children. Love it. Learn it myself and then teach people with disabilities how to build an online business, help others attain success. This is some great stuff, and keep in mind that your Give More is going to be completely different from myself, from Paul Evans, from Don here, says help at-risk youth and transitional for women. So another one, there's actually 2 people that want to help women in the transition phase. That's amazing. Right, yeah. One after the other, they typed it at the same time. But everybody's going to be unique. That is so cool. So I love this. Everybody here wants to give, because if you give more, it's going to make it so that you're able to say, hey, I'm at a spot where I'm not sure, where my business is going. I might want to just give up. But then you remember what you want to do. You want to be there to help at-risk youth. You want to be there to give hospice and music ministries for those with major illnesses. You want to be there for those people. So you're going to say, wow, I need to push through and make more. And that's so powerful, so dynamic once you get that element down of giving more, because if your heart is to give, it's going to reflect in the business you go into as well. It's going to help others at the same time. So it's a beautiful thing when it all fits together.
Absolutely, man. That is so true. We've got some that want to give $50,000 a month, some that want to give $10,000 a year, 10% a year, 20% a year. I would love to eventually be able to give up to 90% of my income. I'd like to be able to give $100,000 lump sum to a special organization that's dear to my heart. I'd like to help the Red Cross. I'd like to help Samaritan's Purse. So many great Give Mores, guys, and thank you for sharing your heart on that. We got several more that are coming in as well, and we're grateful for that, because when you're clear on your Make More, when you're clear on your Give More, it makes such a big difference. We got Eugene that says to give to my ministries to spread the word of God. So we've got all kinds of different giving that's taking place here tonight. We love that, guys. And then finally, live more. I mean, we do want to make more so we can give more, but also so we can live more. So top left is myself with Michael Hyatt. He's one of my buddies, but to get to him, guess what? It costs money. To take my boys to St. Louis to a Cardinals game when Stephen graduated high school, guess what? It took money to rent a house on the ocean in Mexico for a week for my family. It took money to travel all around the world, including Disney World. It takes money. But to make more, so we can give more, but so we can live more, so that we can enjoy some stuff as well.
Yeah, so my live more here, I absolutely love taking my family out during the day, especially if it's during the summer months and the kids aren't in school and everybody else is working. We like to go to the zoo. We like to travel. You saw we took our kids to Cambodia. We also, my wife and I, in Hawaii. We got the bottom left corner there. That was fun. We took our niece and nephew to Disneyland, and we surprised them with a memorable experience to get picked up in a limousine. And again, that kind of stuff takes money. We are annual pass members at Disneyland. We like to travel to different places. I'm a big, passionate college football fan, which Paul Evans would say is an understatement. I am
Yes.
very, very passionate about the Washington State Cougars. And, we're able to travel, take the kids to games, travel, take the family, and then also the top right corner there is visiting family, that lives all over the state or all over the country. That's so important to us, and because you need money in order to live more, and so money is not a bad thing because you can live more and give more at the same time.
This is one of my clients slash friends, Sue Painter, and I get so tickled at her because she is always posting from some different place in the world. And right now, she is actually in Costa Rica, and the volcanoes are spewing. I got this off of one of our private Facebook groups the other day, just like 2 days ago, and she cracked me up with that. Top left is Malta, and her and Bill traveled there. But in each of these zones that she goes to, every place that she travels, she'll have a VIP day or two with one of her clients. But she's designed her business so that she can make more, yep, so she can give more, and so she can live more. So what's your live more? You should know the drill by now. What's on your bucket list? What are some cool things that you would really like to do? And maybe even some other things that are going to lead to that. We got Bill here who says rehab from my injuries and continue to travel. That's a big part of living more, right? Being able to have that mobility and being able to go and see new places.
So good, and it takes money to do these things. So money does matter when you want to live more. I love it because everybody's live more is going to be different too. Some people want to travel. Some people just want to travel within their country. Some people, they just want to be free. We've had people, like for example, we have somebody here that they wanted to just not have to worry about finances anymore, not have to stress about it on the weekend, and be able to just live carefree. That's huge.
Yep.
Cruise.
Take,
I'd like
yeah,
to
take my
travel.
friends and family on a 1 month vacation.
That's awesome.
That's huge. Cruise, I would like to travel, fly, drive, cruise, so many places I haven't been. I want to go to Hawaii. I want to take my entire family to Disney World, stay on the property, and not worry about a single expense. So good.
I love the specific of these requests here. It's so good because once you really get specific and you know what you want to do, what your live more goals are, it's going to, again, make your goals that much more strong. It's going to make it that much stronger when you want to give up, because you're going to say, hey, I still want to travel. I want to go on a cruise. I want to take my friends and family on a 1 month vacation. So I'm going to keep pushing. So it's so important that you write this down because it's huge for your success.
Okay, so the right-hand side of the sheet are your results. I want to make more, give more, live more. You just did that exercise. That's your results. The left side of the sheet, the second R, is your reality. What are you making now compared to what you wrote down when you said make more? What are you giving now compared to what you wrote down in your give more? How are you living now compared to what you wrote down in your live more? Are those super close together? Or are they very far apart? Now, you don't have to write down your actual numbers to us on this one, but we do want you to write those down for yourself. And the reason is so you'll have a clear picture of where you are now to where you want to be, because as you build your business, you want to bridge that gap. You want to shrink that gap with a process that moves you from where you are now, your current reality, to where you want to be. And we're not saying that as two guys who, quote, have made it and are speaking totally from an easy street position, because it's not been easy street. Business is not easy street, and sometimes it's very unfun street. Tell us about it, Paul.
Yeah, so this box of Cheerios story, Paul said he really wanted me to share this after I told him about it. This was such a dynamic shift in my business and in my life. It was about 7 years ago, or yeah, 7 years ago, beginning of 2009. My wife was pregnant. I was invited to go speak at a conference on marketing, search engine optimization, a conference that was going to be in Atlanta. The reason they invited me was because I have a lot of clients at that time that I was doing search engine work for. They were ranking for keywords like, there were phrases like pet supplies, there was, self-directed IRA, which is in the financial space, coffee. I was doing work for some larger organizations. The problem was I wasn't getting paid consistently because I was duplicating a model that didn't have a lot of solid cash flow. I was doing some very basic affiliate marketing stuff. My problem was I was not building an asset like an email list. I was not building a foundation for my business. And because of that, we reached a point where we didn't have very much money in the bank account because some checks hadn't come in that I was anticipating from clients. Well, I was invited to this event. I was on my way to this event, and our vehicle broke down on the way. And it was absolutely just gut-wrenching, right? The vehicle broke down, transmission fell out. It was about an hour away from our house. It was when we lived in Oklahoma, in Lawton, Oklahoma area. My wife had to drive over an hour. Again, she was 8 months pregnant. She had to drive over an hour to come get us. And while on the way, she couldn't even afford to get the toll paid for in Oklahoma. So the person actually did a little bit of give more, if you will, and let her go on through the toll booth, had some grace on her. So she went on, picked me up. She was, obviously 8 months pregnant. We had a 2-year-old. We were hungry. We had, I thought we had money in the bank account, a very small amount, but I knew we had enough to at least get Taco Bell, right? So I think our order total was $4 or $5, just something a little small for each person. Went in, tried one card, it was declined. Tried another card, it was declined. And then I realized there was a bill that I guess had come out that I wasn't aware of at that point. And so we were completely at rock bottom. We had nothing. And it was a really big turning point because my wife, she actually was still hungry, and we had a box of Cheerios in the car. And so my pregnant wife and my 2-year-old had to sit in the car and eat Cheerios. And I'm telling you, that was gut-wrenching. That really made me step back and say, what's up? What's up with my business? What am I doing wrong? Well, my wife drove the way home. I had a chance to reflect on my business and say, what can I change in my business? And it was at that point that I made a shift in my business. And I said, I'm done doing this work for everybody else just like this. I'm going to make myself, Paul Counts, my best paying client, and I'm going to be unique in my business, and I'm going to stand out. I'm going to create training programs that are different. And at that point, that Cheerios right there, that box of Cheerios, has resulted in millions of dollars in online sales for me since then. Just because of a box of Cheerios, it took that one roadblock, and for me to say, I'm done doing it like everybody else, I'm going to do it my own unique way, it was powerful from that point on.
I heard somebody say today, Paul, that things turn around when we're at the end of our rope. I'm not sure that that's quite true. I think that things turn around when we're at the end of our hope, and that seems to be where you guys were.
Exactly. We definitely were right there. That's good. I love that.
Man, that's a tough place, brother. So, we're looking at the right-hand side as results, left-hand side is reality, and the middle is roadblocks. And the roadblocks are the things that keep you from getting from the reality of where you are to the results of where you want to be. And we've all got a lot of different roadblocks in our life and how that comes about.